So YouTube, D's Common Sense. This is your boy D coming at you with my reviewers tag. I was tagged by my man Freddie Photo. Peace to you, Freddie. This is basically a reviewers tag. Let people know a little something about the reviewer, and also the reviewers can check out each other's videos and see what they have in common, what they don't have in common, just learn something new. I'm going to start it off really quick. I got the questions up here on the monitor. I'm on Lupe's video right now. What are your earliest fragrance memories? My earliest favorite fragrance memories is basically, you know, you get a certain age where you don't remember anything before 4 or 3, and it's very cloudy, but I do remember my mom and my dad got a divorce when I was 5, or at least it was finalized, but they was probably separated and moved out by the time I was 4 or something like that. But the early memories all throughout was his cologne, and that was Brut. Of course, everybody had Brut, I guess. I don't know what I was doing at the time in the 70s, so. And I remember the cologne Brut, plastic bottles, splash out. You just throw in your hand. It might have been aftershave, to be honest with you, or he could have both. I know he had soap and a rope as well. Those of you who are too young to remember, it used to be a soap. Never mind. Alright, first fragrance purchase. This one was, at first I had to think about it, and then once I started realizing and put some thought into it, and this will be Polo Cologne, the green bottle. And of course, as hip hop influenced lifestyles and trends, that would kind of, you know, influence my decision to buy Polo Cologne. Now granted, it's freaking 13, maybe 13, 12, 14 years old. I don't know. I know I was young, and I had enough money saved up to get the bottle of cologne. And what inspired me to do it was, of course, Dougie Fresh and the Get Fresh crew. Slick Rick had a verse in there, and so I got my Johnson's Baby powder and my Polo Cologne. So got into that. Of course, that was large, bright, strong. Y'all know about Polo Cologne, man. Y'all know about all that. Next up, let's see. What was your first niche purchase? Alright, my first niche purchase was, and I have this bottle still. Well, actually, correction. I have the fragrance. And this is going to be a connection with a couple things in my journey life, in my fragrance life. So, and that is Musk Ravageur. And I'm not sure who got me hooked on this. I'll put teammate blame for the Musk Ravageur between Hero and Brandon Cutler Supreme. So, you know, Hero started it, and then Brandon kind of sealed the deal for me because, you know, I thought we had pretty much, what's going on? Whatever. I thought we had pretty much the same taste, you know. So, but I didn't blind buy it, so I went into the store, smelled it, and I'm like, yeah, this is boss. Well, actually, I got a sample of it, tested it out, and then I'm like, yep, gonna get it. And Barney's, I know they probably hated me. I went round and round. I think I got the travel size first. Took it back. Or I don't know, I can't remember if I got the travel size. Anyway, I ended up with 50 ml. Shot a video of it. Sexy stuff. Wife bought off on it at the time. But it's Musk Ravageur. And as far as being my first niche purchase, I took it back, which actually brings me to, I guess it can be my actual niche purchase. I took Musk Ravageur back. It was a 50 ml, it wasn't a 100 ml. I just recently got this maybe a couple months ago, because I needed it back in my life, of course. And I smelled this, Morphine by X-Ray. This just blew my socks off, man. I was like, wow. And it smelled like nothing that I ever smelled before. I know there was things that was trying to do what this did, but it just couldn't do it. I remember like, okay, I'm gonna test it with these guys, Pure Malt and Dolce & Gabbana 1. Let me see what's going on, because, you know, you got the boozy, masculine vibe. Let's see what it's like. Nah, I took that Musk Ravageur back, and I took this, bought this instead, and I never looked back. Alright, first blind buy. Well, the first blind buy, this was the Hype of the century. And of course, everybody pretty much know what it is. You should. And that is, again, Brandon's fault, Cutlass Supreme, and it's pure malt. Basically, once again, you know, if I know very early on, you just couldn't get this. It was not being sold. So I was one of the ones that went on eBay and copped it. I didn't pay the 2 bills, but I did pay 100 plus. I think like maybe, I think I got like for 150. Seems kind of insane now that I think of it. But you know what, at the time, and even to this day, actually I don't really regret doing it, because this was, I thought it was worth 150 at the time. I thought it was a good deal. It was legit. You can see I even had, this is old school. This is, I have a backup bottle, but I already have a little lip cut. Of course, I'm not gonna do that to my other bottle. And I had this bottle for maybe 2 or so years, and this is how much juice I use. I don't think it's gonna focus in, so I apologize for that. Pure malt. Still to this day, I think this is worthy of niche price. You have to see Brandon's review on that, Brandon Cutlass Supreme. So, you know what, I'll put his link down below too. I don't know if it's still there, but also I'll put his link down below. Next up, all right, what was your best blind buy? My best blind buy came off from another reviewer's review, and this is an individual that I pretty much put much trust in his nose and his taste, because he has excellent taste, and some of his fragrances I really enjoy, and I haven't went wrong on a lot of his things that he reviewed, and that's from Centrifugal Force. Tongue tied. My man Eric, and he put me on Fusion Sacré Louis. This is a blind buy. Of course, no one had it anywhere, and it wasn't really that expensive compared to what you would consider niche fragrance to be. So I went out on a limb, and this I need to review this. I think this symbolizes what niche is, and I get more into it when I do the review. Fusion Sacré Louis. I think I pronounced that right. Alright, what was your best blind buy? What was your worst blind buy? My worst blind buy, I don't have it, and it was almost like it wasn't a blind buy, in the sense that I'm really not a blind buy type person. So, you know, with pure malt and Fusion Sacré, I think those pretty much the only 2 blind buys I have in my collection, to be honest with you. But this one, I was in, where were we? Nordstrom's. I was in Nordstrom's, tried on this YSL Libre. Yes. Sprayed it on, smelled great. Bought the bottle, I want that. Driving home, you know, you got the arm cruising, you know, whichever one. I think that's the most time I'm using my left. And I'm like, what the hell's that smell? Zip my arm, like, oh, no. No. I mean, I don't think I even opened, because I had a sample of it as well, and it was on, I didn't even have to open the box. I'm like, nah, no, this has got to go back. And I'm going to count it as a blind buy because I didn't spend much time with it. I did smell it, but I'm going to say it's my worst blind buy. I mean, I blind bought Taste of Fragrance, but that's not my worst fragrance. That's not, I thought it was good, so, but that's my bad experience with blind buying something. Took that joker back. All right, best blind buy. Already did that one. Worst blind buy, I did that. Favorite notes. All right, my favorite notes. This is no particular order. Vanilla, coconut, tobacco, leather, rose, boozy notes, brandy, cognac. I don't know, it's a bunch of them. So I'll group them into something that can be, and it's probably going to get into, is it? No. I pretty much get into masculine, but yet sexy, and warm, and gourmandish type thing. Alright. So those are some of my favorite notes. I tend to lean more towards rose these days because I just got turned on to it by my man Bo Chosen, get into the florals, and been hooked ever since. So those are some of my favorite notes. Okay, what do we have now? Fragrance. What fragrance best describe? No, I'm sorry. What is your favorite fragrance house? Let me keep track of this. This is number 8. My favorite fragrance house, and basically I'm just going by the number of bottles I have, and I'm gonna have to say Creed. I think I had like 6 or 7 bottles from Creed. It's just Creed, man, just works well with my skin chemistry. All the bottles I have, out of all of them, I have no longevity or projection problems out of any of them. So what's not to love, to be honest with you? And most of the people, and I got them all at relatively a good price, a good deal. So I haven't paid, I think the only one I paid retail for was actually out of Neiman's, and basically Jardin Amalfi, I got it for even cheaper because she basically, the SA filled up a 50 ml travel container, decant weather, with the Jardin Amalfi juice. So you can't get that much juice for the price that she gave it to me. So I got all of them good prices. So the people who hate Creed normally hate them for the price, or normally hate for their performance. Not too many hate them for their smell and how does it smell. So Creed is it. Maybe if I was somewhere where it's cooler most of the time, and maybe it wouldn't be Creed, because I think Creed do work better here in Arizona and this nice warm weather. So I say warm, it's gonna be hot soon, but maybe the other one probably would be either Dior, maybe Christian Dior slash, yeah, if it was in a something I could wear some darker, warmer fragrances, Tom Ford. And I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna cut it short between Tom Ford and Dior if I was in a warmer or cooler type weather temperature. All right, let's see. We are. What fragrance best describes you? And I think this has got to be it. It speaks of business, but it also speaks of relaxation for me. It also speaks of, okay, I'm gonna need to get dressed up and be nice and formal, and that is one and only Creed Aventus. I know it is probably a lot of people's I don't know, pick or choice, but I couldn't. This is not my favorite Creed. It's not my favorite fragrance. I think it's just something that symbolizes me, especially if I'm in uniform. When I'm in uniform, this is easy to grab for. When I'm not in uniform, this is easy to grab for. It was pretty much summed up, you know. Like I said before, I don't know if I said it in one of my videos, but now my family is starting to say, okay, Deshaun was in the house, or he was here somewhere, because I smell him. He was here, and most of the time this is Aventus. It's quiet, you think it's gone, but it's really not there. When you smell it, it's not going to smell like anything else. I think I'm a pretty unique individual, and it speaks of, I don't know, military man, I don't know, someone you can count on, depend on, I don't know. But I think this is the closest thing that kind of speaks to my personality. It's Aventus, you know, that quiet confidence pretty much sums it all. Quiet confidence. I don't have to be the one to be rah rah rah, you know, and get noticed, whether it's sports, work, or whatever. All right, next up is, what is your favorite fragrance? That is easy, really easy. And that's why I put so much trust in the nose of my man Eric from Centrifugal Force, and that is Duetto by Sospiro. Easily my favorite fragrance. Now, I did say easily, but Morphine is still fighting to stay up there. Man, Pardon by Nasamato. But this one just does it for me because it has all of my favorite notes in one. I think that's what gives it the edge over everybody. All the notes that I told you before, the leather, the rose, the vanilla, the bourbon, all of it is here. It's here. It's done masterfully as well. Again, I like sexy fragrances. I like my fragrances to be unique, and I like for my fragrance to be exotic. And if I ever make it rich, that's what I'm gonna drive. Sexy, unique, exotic cars. That's me. Bikes, whatever. I like those things. That's where I'm at with it. And fragrance resolution. My fragrance resolution is I need to start buying more fragrances not for my wife, but some that my wife like. You know, I have like, I don't know, 40 bottles, 40 to 50 bottles. I think I'm down to 40 now. And 90% of those things she either don't care for or it doesn't raise an eyebrow. So when I start spending these big dollars for fragrances in the future, it's gonna have to be something that she likes. And don't get me wrong, if I come across some things that I want to pick up that she's not necessarily in love with, but I get a deal, yeah, I get it if I get a good price. But we're talking 200 bills and up, wifey got to be an approval factor on it. So that is it. Hope I didn't keep you too long. Hopefully this AC is not too loud, but I had to get a minute to try to shoot this video before I went back into work. And thank you guys for tuning in to this. Thanks again, Lupe. Thanks again, Freddie. I'm going to tag this individual because I think we on the same wavelength as far as fragrance knows and fragrance, how we look at fragrances in a sense. And I think we cut from the same sheet of cloth, you know, kind of like Cody, but this individual, his name is Brandon. He's from the West Coast, ex-Navy guy. So I got to represent my servicemen. Actually, I want to grab two. Hopefully I don't hog up everybody, but I also want to holler at and tag Jay, Fragrance Wires, formerly known as Fragrance Wires. He's also now called Sometimes Sober. I'll have both those gentlemen's channels linked down below. Hopefully not too busy to shoot a tag video. Jay and I think he also has the same attitude towards fragrances. You know, when Jay come across, man, there's no hidden agenda. He is just straight up, what you see is what you get. I love that. Same thing with Brandon. He's as humble as dude as you can come across. So distinguished gent and Sometimes Sober, you're on, gents, you're on, fellas, you're on, Fragrance Brothers. And thank you for checking me out. I'll talk to you soon. Deuces.